Hi everyone, this is Tamara from Seraphim Center for Healing and Education based in Northern California, United States. This is part 3 to the self-compassion series, and today I wanted to focus on, so in the first video we focused on what does self-compassion mean to you, because it's such a unique experience. And then in the second video, we kind of um, expanded on that even more. In this video, I wanted to talk about what it is within us that is resistant to self-compassion. What are some of the sources of resistance to self-compassion, self-mercy, self-love, self-worth? But this series is focused on self-compassion. And as I was contemplating that this week, um, it came to me that one of the primary reasons why we are resistant to directing loving kindness and compassion towards ourselves is programming. And programming is exactly what it is. It's from a young age, some of us are programmed to feel guilty or somehow feel like it's wrong to direct loving kindness and self-compassion towards ourselves. This happens. There are other sources, but for today, let's focus on inner child programming. So, thinking back to instances where we were either taught that it is safe and okay to be self compassionate, that it's completely okay to take a moment and regroup within ourselves and think of ourselves and extend love and kindness towards ourselves, or the reverse is we've been taught that somehow that's wrong, that somehow we are to feel guilty when we take time out for ourselves, um, when we think of ourselves even. So think back to instances in childhood and think about programming. Were you predominantly programmed to believe that it is safe and okay to be self-compassionate? Or somehow were you programmed either directly through teachers and friends and social conditioning, environmental conditioning, through parents, through watching our parents? So it's not always expressed directly towards the child. It's sometimes um, watching a mother or a father or even a grandparent who um, cannot take time out to be self-compassionate when the need is there and when it's necessary, really. So think back to programming, think back to conflict, instances of conflict in childhood, in our early youth, where we taught to be self-compassionate, were we taught to take care of ourselves when it was the right thing to do, or were we taught the program that somehow it's not safe, it's not okay, that somehow we are supposed to feel guilty to be self-compassionate? So that's what I wanted to cover today. It's something to reflect on and to kind of meditate on. And then what I'll do in the next video, I'll talk about how we can deprogram, how we can begin the steps of deprogramming. Obviously, the first most important step is awareness. And awareness comes from inner reflection. Inner reflection. So remember, think back to your earlier years. Was there a parent that you watched who had the program of not being able to be self compassionate? Was that somehow taught to you? And let's come back in the fourth part of the series and talk about how do we then take the steps of freeing ourselves from that programming. All right. Thank you so much. I'll see you soon. Bye bye.